Hey everybody, this is David from the Legacy team, and today I'm going to be showing you Yohan's SSS, or Stage Selection Screen, and Custom Stagelist tool. You may recall in the past we released a Custom Stagelist tool, but that only works with the older version of the Stage Selection Screen. We are now showing you the new Stage Selection Screen, which you are seeing right now. The first thing you can notice is these two brand new buttons, that the new random button and the new page swap button have been completely revamped for this new aesthetic. And probably the most drawing part of this stage selection screen is the new wide previews. So it helps maximize real estate, as you can see, and we've kind of organized the franchise icons and series icons as well as the title kind of in the center below it. And then on the top right, you'll notice these stage stats. And these have to do with the width of the stage, the blast zone from the top and from the side. That's what those numbers are. So they're only turned on for tournament legal stages. So you'll notice for like Lilad and Metal Cavern, there's nothing there because that doesn't really matter as much. But yeah, every one of these has a treatment. The other thing you might notice for the TE version is the start alt titles at the top here. As you can see that Big Blueville is a 1-for-1 reskin of Smashville, so instead of having to guess by the preview image, you can now see it pretty much laid out here for your convenience. So for instance, let's say that, oh man, I want to play on a Green Hill Zone 1-for-1. You can just quickly scan through and, oh, Green Hill Zone, there you go. I can start right on start there. So yeah, a significant amount of work was put into lining everything up and making it look like this. So just want to give a really big shout out to Yohan for kind of putting this together. This is something that we've been working on for a little while now, and we're finally happy to share it with you. So with that, I will go a little bit more into the tool itself and the variety of packs that you have at your disposal. Okay, so to start off, to show you how this works, I'm going to use a clean build of Legacy 1.11, and we'll operate from the assumption that you're using that one. Alright, so first off, when you first download the tool, you'll get these files and folders, and the HD imagery is specifically around getting HD images for Dolphin that are in DDS format. So that's how it looks as beautiful as it does in this screen. We also have HD stage stats mapped out. And here are the TE ones, and then the PM ones. I'll actually show you what the PM ones look like. We wanted something a little bit different because there aren't all those alts. And the L is more of a smaller feature. So we decided to kind of tuck it away in the corner so it looks more natural and we can give more screen real estate to the base stage in the PM version. So anyway, all that's available in the download here. Those are pretty fun to make. Also, we have a 3.6 Bowser's Castle version where it's the legal one's on L and the standard one's on the base. So whatever your preferences are, if you're using a vanilla 3.6 build, you can switch to that. So that's what the HD imagery folder is. Also we provided these HD templates you can use. With a black background, you can't really see them, but you can see them here. Wow, Windows is not liking transparency right now. But anyway, they're basically just templates you can use to add your own stages to preview images. And then we get to the actual files themselves. So what first I'm going to do is I'm just going to add, first I'll add the TE stage selection screen and menu main files, and then I'll add the PM ones and I'll show you the difference. So this is me opening my virtual SD card. And what you're going to want to do first is rename the file that you want to use. So in this case, I'm going to show the TE one first. So get rid of this part on the end. By the way, the instructions in the README covers all of this and more, way in depth. So I definitely encourage you to take a look at it. All right, so we have menu main, we have cell map, replace them. Okay, so I basically just added the new stage selection screen and my music menu, which is what the menu main file is, to a Legacy TE 1.11 build. So let's see what that looks like.
Choose your character, Mewtwo.
So sure enough, here is the new stage selection screen, as you were shown earlier. So now let's back out to the My Music, and I'll show you that. So this has been all updated also. That's that. So now we'll show you the Project M version. I haven't even gotten to the tool yet, by the way. There's a lot here. So if you were to add this stage selection screen to your Project M 3.6 build that was not legacy flavored, you would probably use this pack. And basically it's purple instead of teal, and it has a few other little tweaks too that I'll show you.
Choose your character, Mewtwo!
Okay, so here it is, purple, and a slightly different glow color on this random button. And then the previews are different like we showed you earlier. And there are no start alt titles, obviously, because there are no start alts in PM. So yeah, that's that. Ignore the T stuff here, obviously. Okay, in the stage tool itself, we have a lot more options. So the idea with the stage tool is that tournaments want to customize their stage selection screen so that there's a limited number of stages that appear on the first page. That's generally the use case for this tool. Tournaments have, say, 7 through 10 maybe different stages they like to use in a tournament, and they only want those to appear on the first page. So this tool is for that. So to open this tool, you'll just go to SSS_customizer.html, and you'll get to this tool. This tool will look pretty familiar to some of you. But as of the last video, you can now add Training Room as a stage, which was, I believe, available as of version 1.1 of the tool. And more, even more cool is you can add custom slots. So for those of you familiar with stage expansion codes, this tool is now compatible with stage expansion. There's some caveats in terms of the random button working properly, and like file size constraints and having to downgrade resolutions for certain previews to get it to work. But pretty much if you know what you're doing and you're using stage expansion, this is completely compatible with it, which is really cool. So for fun, I will show you an instance of it working. Since I already showed in a previous video kind of how this tool works, I'm going to show you how changed it is with the custom stages. You can see here that you just select custom and a custom stage pops up here. So I have 10 stages on the front, including Training Room here. I have 37 on this one, and I will change Training Room so it does not appear twice. I'll change it to Castle Siege. Why not? Okay, so there's Castle Siege. So I will now click Generate Codes. And here are all the codes that you will need. So usually this is the only set of codes you needed. But because I added the custom slots, and I would say for most people, this is the only code you need to worry about. But if you're using custom, there's some extra steps, which I'll show you. So yeah, and this code is toggleable. We'll go over that in a second. And then this determines what song and what music tracks play on those expansion stages. So I'm going to copy that code. Oh, and by the way, I would recommend downloading the Codes and Code Set Management Pack also, because it's really handy and really convenient if you want to be doing things like this. recipe01.txt. Okay, so here is basically the entire Legacy TE 1.11 code set, and the code that we just generated here, I'm going to want to add this and replace whatever is here. So do a Control F for custom stage selection screen, which is this, and you're going to want to replace this. Paste. So here is all the song forcer codes, which are telling the game to play a certain song on that stage. Here we have enable random expansion stages. So basically this means all stages appear when you hit random. it's kind of an all or nothing type situation. Like if you enable the stages for random, you can never turn them off because there's no option to turn them off. So anyway, I'm just going to delete it and make it so you can't access them. They're not accessible in random, but it's completely up to you. You can delete whatever you'd like. So it looks like all the code's pasted correctly, so I'm going to save that. Then I'm going to drag my txt file over gctconvert.exe, and what that will do is it will generate a GCT file for me. Very cool tool. So now, the only remaining options are to replace the new cell map and the new menu main, and then also my code set. So I'm going to take the txt and the GCT, and then I'm going to replace them. So now it's talking to my new code set. And then I'm going to rename. You'll notice one has expansion on the end here. If you're not using expansion, you'll want to use the standard cell map and standard menu main here if you use the tool. But in this case, since I used the expansion stages, I'm going to want to take advantage of these. And the reason why you want to use them is because they have extra imagery that account for those special extra custom stages. If you don't have the stage in the game, it will crash. So here's a template of sorts that you can use that I will show you. My guess is that I'll hit the file size limit, although I'm not sure. Maybe we'll be safe. So obviously you just find the correct folders and put the stages in the Melee stages folder, and then you put the modules in the module folder, the .rel files. Okay, so it didn't seem to give me any trouble, so I believe they're all training rooms as placeholder stages.
Choose your character. Mewtwo.
All right, so as expected, the 10 stages that we picked are on this first page, which is great. It's exactly what we expected. And if we turn the page, we have all 37 stages that we picked, including these custom slots on the second page, which is also fantastic. So if you pick one of them, it should be one of the placeholder stages that we selected, and the music from Substance Emissary should be playing. And it is. So this is exactly what we expected, and exactly what we wanted. So there you have it. This brand new stage selection screen made by Yohan, and a Stagelist custom tool you can use to edit this for tournaments. This works with both Project M and TE, so go crazy. And just to recap, if you only care about the new stage selection screen and you don't care about the tool, just look in the first folder and pay attention to these first items here in the parent folder. If you want to change the number of stages that appear on the first page and the second page, go to Stage Tool and then use these. That's the distinction between the two. Okay, I hope you enjoy this labor of love, and expect more videos and more tools like this very soon.